what's up, y'all? I am coming to y'all today with just like a spontaneous video idea I had. Not even really like a video idea. With all this chaos going on in the world right now, specifically with the tragic murder of George Floyd, another African-American man murdered for what looks like no reason by excessive force from a police officer. Again, it's unfortunate that this keeps occurring. Obviously, people are fed up, and that's the reality of it. So right now there's protests all across America. These protests are becoming violent and turning into riots, and it's causing a lot of damage and setting buildings on fire in places, cars on fire everywhere, looting stores left and right. Here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, they were protesting downtown yesterday, and I really wanted to go down and show you guys like up close the reality of the situation, because it turned south quick. Within a couple hours, the protesters started fighting, you know, throwing stuff at the police officers on horseback. Just turned ugly quick. They started catching cop cars on fire, started looting buildings, and a handful of police officers got injured, a couple journalists and pedestrians, protesters, and it just got violent quick. There's a lot of belief that it's not even these protesters who are actually protesting the cause, which I stand for completely. It's these Antifa members, these activists who are coming in here and just starting these riots and turning things south with their own agendas or whatever. Anyway, so I felt like I just wanted to see, you know, I know it got ugly down here yesterday. I didn't want to come down with the camera. I can't put my life in jeopardy. I have, you know, 5 children, 1 child on the way, you know. I just can't do things like that anymore, so it wasn't worth the risk, but I figured I'd come down today just to see the aftermath, ultimately. I did come down earlier, and what I saw was a lot of damaged building, a ton of graffiti, and great Samaritans, public workers and such. They were all cleaning up the debris, the broken glass, places where cop cars were lit aflame, and they were boarding up windows and scrubbing graffiti off everything. It was just like a real sight to see. It was like, you felt it. And I'm sure you felt it even more if you were down here yesterday. Respect everyone who was down here, standing up for what they believe in, and it's unfortunate it turned south, like I said. I don't know, I figured I'd go home and get the camera and come back and see if I can't. Probably won't catch any of the cleanup or anything like that. Most of that's probably done. There was a ton of police down here earlier, circling on motorcycles and their squad cars and stuff. I'm sure a lot of that's died down, but I just want to go around and show you guys what I can now at this point, which is probably just like boarded up buildings and such from all the looting. Here's some graffiti. George Floyd. That's just minor graffiti they haven't got to scrubbing off yet. FYI, I am staying safe, y'all. Here's our gloves, Clorox wipes, mask up there, mask in there, so I am prepared. Now I'm back. Like I said, I just want to show you guys some of the aftermath, what remnants, if there's any left behind from a few hours ago when I was here. And I see something coming up. This is right by the PPG arena, which used to be the Civic Arena when I was a kid. And right in front of it, there was a police car that was burned when the riots were taking place. And there you go. Let me see if I can't zoom a little bit. They were sweeping this up earlier. Street cleaners haven't came by to sweep up what's left. But there's where a cop car was burned. It's hard to do this while you're driving. I don't recommend it. So yeah, downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, post-riot, so to say. And let's see what we run into. I don't know if y'all can see that well enough. I missed that guy. A little too far ahead now, but he's scrubbing graffiti off of a light post. It's just some of the minor graffiti, but once we get down here a little further, you'll see there was some buildings that got looted on this street. What we have right there is pedestrians and people of the community doing graffiti cleanup on this building right here. They already hit that up, got that all cleaned up. Some graffiti right there. And here's where some of the looting started. Let me get this out of zoom. Looting right there. They broke into the rainbow. They got in here. They got that all boarded up. Milkshake factory, but also there's, you know, a lot more going on there. They got in there, so they're replacing the bottom windows behind that plywood right there. There's their little setup. They're just boarding so much up. This was an obvious lucrative loot job, I should say. The jewelry store, they hit that up. A lot of graffiti on my right. I already missed a bunch. Another building they got into the bank right past it, the PNC. I'll show you guys that once we get up there. Got crazy down here. I mean, it's a scary thought. It's like, this ain't what was supposed to happen necessarily. These protesters had a point and they had a reason. And they deserved to be protesting. Look, here we go. Florida jewelry store. Got up in the CVS. Oh, here we go. Here's our PNC Bank that they got into. Got into the PNC Bank. What else? We got in there, which is a check cashing store. Yeah, they were going for the money. I will say that. Got up in the, looted the ice cream shop, looted the popcorn shop. That's strange. Whatever though. But yeah, they were going hard. I'm not sure what this is right here. They got in there. And there was so much graffiti and everything they were scrubbing off, like these walls and buildings all day today. Or, you know, all this morning when I was out here. You know, so many people shipping in. Tons of yellow vests everywhere. They got this boarded off. And then the police force that was down here was insane. They were like ready for round 2. Got that all boarded up. They're fixing windows back there also. Crazy times. We got into the building right there. Tons of graffiti up here at the T station. They got that, most of that scrubbed up. Little remnants of it on the wall right there. Police. They arrested so many protesters last night after they put the curfew into effect. They put a curfew into effect to get the protesters and rioters off the street. There's a group of officers still in full effect up there. Waiting for something to pop off. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Yeah, it got crazy. Got in there, hit the subway up. They were just going hard. They were really going hard. So yeah, man, I don't know. Just made me feel a certain sort of way, so I had to bring it up. You know, the whole situation, everything the world's going through right now. Right after the coronavirus, another totally unnecessary murder of a minority from a police officer. You know, the riots everywhere across the country, billions of dollars in damage, I'm sure at this point. It's just incredible. And then like all these stores finally open back up after we start figuring out this coronavirus, and then now everything's shut back down because it's been looted or people are afraid this is gonna happen again. I don't know, it's crazy though, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it was just wild, dude. It was, you know, they had the protesters were blocking off highways, whole 5-lane serious highways, just shutting them down, throwing debris in the road, blocking it off at all costs. Fires everywhere. It's just it's a scary thought. These are crazy times. Got up in there, broken glass, fresh plywood. Hit up the Mac machine with some graffiti. Got up in this bank. Busted out the back windows. I guess we had some meathead Antifa members because they got all up in the GNC building. It's like, that's kind of just a joke. Got up in the Domino's. They haven't got that fully boarded up yet. It's an employee right there, still trying to do what he can do. Respect that. Some police officers on the corner. The other T station. Trying to hold down some peace, I guess. Not that they're not to blame, at least specific ones. Police officers. Oh, they got in those buildings. I'm a little too zoomed in, my bad. Try to zoom out here. Another building over there hit up. It's everywhere down here. They went hard. Booths running shop still with no windows, with just one window left. That's crazy. One window left. Gotta do what you gotta do. They're probably just able to open back up because all this, because, you know, all the lockdown, shutdown of the world due to the coronavirus. See a bunch of this going on. A bunch of people walking around with these pallets of plywood that they're putting up all over these windows. Looks like they spared down here. They didn't make it down here. They, you know, the police really started coming in, you know, from different areas and helping out down here and shutting stuff down. started pushing protesters back. They hit up this Dollar Bank, of course, another bank they got into. Saw this sweet little girl sweeping up glass there earlier with, I'm assuming, her mother or something. Other side of the GNC building. So yeah, it looks like they got most of this under control. I just wanted to show you guys the aftermath of like one of the most minor protests that got out of hand here. Hopefully these protests stop, and hopefully some things really do change for the minorities, for the African American community in general, or more specifically I should say, minorities in general. I'm still fixing it up over there. We got a news crew doing interviews right there at the subway. We're boarded up here. Yeah, we're boarded up everywhere. But that's about it. I just want to show you guys the aftermath, the reality of what's going on. I'm sure most of you know, you all got the news and social media, it's everywhere. These are hard times, and our prayers go out to everyone and America as a whole. We just are hoping for better times and justice to be served when needed, and all this chaos to just end and get back to normal life again. That's what we want. Sidebar, I apologize for us not bringing you the content you're used to us bringing you, as regularly as we usually do. Obviously, everything was shut down, we were locked down, and the content we make for you guys, we couldn't go shopping, we couldn't do these things. Things are opening back up. Us specifically up here going in the green phase, which is basically like everything back to normal, except, social distancing, masks, 50% capacity, things like that. But we'll be able to go in these stores, go in the malls, get shopping again, have some fun again, make these videos. But I felt like I had to, I felt something. I felt the need to speak on, not even speak on, but just show you guys a little bit of how this unfortunate death and how it was like the final straw of another African-American man by another police officer using far excessive force. I don't really know what to say about it. We do have opinions. We don't get into things on this channel. We keep it light and fun, but we are still human. We are still Americans, and we see these things, we hear these things, and we have opinions on it. Sometimes, you just can't bite your tongue. So respect to everyone out there who is doing something and standing for a cause. Yeah, man, much love to everyone out there. See y'all in the next one. Oh, subscribe, like, all that jazz. Peace.